All right, just to try to keep up on my promise here of updating pretty frequently, but I'm just going to go over kind of what I'm doing the next, I don't know, day or three. Just mostly cleanup. Um, I have a lot of the concrete, block, brick, and stuff in piles to put in the trailer to move, and I'm just waiting on the trailer. And not that it's a problem that it's not available yet, because the folks that have been letting me borrow it have been amazing, and I've pretty much been able to just store it here and use it whenever I want to. So, but they had some work that they needed it for, so it's currently being used. So anyway, so the timing isn't working out so well, but it's not a big deal. The place that I've got that I'm able to take the rock and concrete and such to, not the rock, the concrete and brick, is available anytime. So, but it would be kind of nice this week because my kids are on fall break. So it'd be nice to have a couple of extra hands to help load that concrete for all the loads that I need to take over there. So anyway, so aside from that, I'm just going to kind of review the stuff that I am going to be doing over the next day or three, as I said. So, I'm going to flip this around and I'll show you. So I've just got this pile of wood, a lot of stuff on the bottom I've got to cut down to size so I can fit it in the bed, and then I'm just taking that all to the dump. Some folks might wonder, why are you just taking this all to the dump? I mean, couldn't you reuse it, or couldn't you at least burn it or give it to somebody with a fireplace or something? I could give it to somebody with a fireplace or a wood burning stove or something. It's pine, so pine is soft wood, so it burns pretty quick. So you're gonna have to stoke that fire pretty frequently. And the reason that I'm not reusing it is because most of the stuff came out of the basement where it's all moldy. And as I was pulling it down, it still smelled of mold. So I don't even want to reuse it for chicken coops or anything like that. So anyway, so that's why all this is getting taken to the dump. Hey, Katie. And then this is just all the insulation for the air conditioning lines. This is scrap metal, that's scrap metal. I haven't talked about this before, but real quick while I'm walking. And actually, I'm just going to take a pause. That birdie here up there is a red-shouldered hawk, and it's in that tree. I'm like obsessed with hawks. So anyway, it and its partner have been circling around here for the past, I don't know, a month and a half or so. And this morning it's in this tree, and it's just kind of hanging out. It's kind of cool. So anyway, back to these. So this bike was over here underneath the double wide, and this bike, so there's a hole in the bottom of our double wide, and so I was feeding the cats in there every day. And one day, my son and I came, my middle son and I'm going to walk as I talk here because I'm going to show you some of the other work that I'm going to do. And I had a new bag of food I was bringing in here, and we walked up the back porch here and went to open the door, and it was locked. I was like, maybe the kids accidentally locked it or something when they were going in or out. And then I looked in the windows, and there's not much in there, but I made a little box, like a maternity box for the cats, because one of them was pregnant, and it was gone. I was like, that's weird. And then I looked in these two windows, which are the kitchen windows, and there was an insulated lunch bag in the sink. I was like, somebody's in there. So rather than putting myself in danger, I just called the sheriff's office. They sent 2 deputies out. They went in there, and sure enough, there was a dude in there. And he just camped out overnight, and he was had a bunch of marijuana on him, but he had a bunch of 2 or 3 warrants, I guess, out, and he was a registered sex offender. So it was a good thing I didn't go in there. But anyway, so they extradited him back to Indiana where his warrants were, So we'll never see him again. But he left his bike inside there, and that was his bike that I just showed you. It was just on its last leg, really. But anyway, so that's where that bike came from. That's a long story short. So that was an interesting chapter in our property adventures. But anyway, I took all the deck boards off the top of this guy a while back, and it's bolted to the side, some lag bolts, just like our deck that I've showed a couple times on our main house. And this deck can't even really walk on this side of the deck, just because it's floating. And although if you're a cat you can, but if you're a human you can't. You can kind of see it's drooping right there. So I need to continue to take this deck apart and just take all the plastic down and remove it from the side of the double wide, because eventually the gentleman that is purchasing this from us, the movers will need to come and move this. So I got to take this, I don't know what this was. It was like a dog shelter or something. So I got to take that, pull that out and remove all the metal off of it and disassemble the wood frame. And then I've got to take all this framing for the deck and the deck boards off of this portion, and I've got to pull that all off. And then these steps will just go right up to the back door temporarily until the folks come to move it. And then this is where I put all the siding over here in this shed that needs to obviously be torn down, but at least it's just a place I can put stuff. And then there's really nothing in the shed either. We cleaned that all out. It's not really secure or anything. Can't really store anything in it, but it's there. And then this little set of steps I got to tear apart too. Just again, so the movers that are going to move this thing have access. And then we'll move these couple of wood beams here. But that's the itinerary for the next day or two or three, until I can get access to the dump trailer. So anyway, this is also just I guess I haven't shown this either, but when we first moved here, our fifth wheel trailer was right here. And then the first week or so that we moved here, I found the plumbing right here, and I just put on a little valve and a little Y, and then this hose was going to our fifth wheel. And yeah, and then last December, now mind you, our fifth wheel had a fire in it in June. So we moved here in April. We had a fire in June, which rendered it useless. Everyone and everything pretty much was okay. But that's when we had to move into our rental. And so anyway, the work that I did here, I just left here and we still had access to water. The water was on. But last December we had a cold front come through, and it got down to like single digits, 6 or 7 degrees, I think, for 3-4 days. So this CPVC line is just sitting on top of the dirt. And I made sure to turn the water off at the street with the valve and leave this open. Watch out, kitty, you're in the way. So just leave the this valve open so that if there was any water left in there, it had room to expand. Well, this it was wrapped with this little orange line, just like a heated line, and then plugged in the bottom. But I didn't want that. So over underneath in the front, it had actually it expanded and split the whole CPVC. So rendering the water useless. And then the other thing that I did here was I bought some 3-inch pipe, and I put on this, I connected the 3-inch all the way to the main line here, and then I put a little RV hookup here. And then I built little chutes, if you will, little like U-shaped chutes for the flexible RV hose, and then brought it over to our RV. So we had a sewage dump as well. And then also I brought the RV power through this window into the dryer connection. I don't know what you want to call it, outlet, and which is just inside this door. The laundry room is just inside this door. So, but anyway, just a quick review there. So the double wide still has power. And another thing is, I don't even know what kind of septic is underneath here. I've heard some stories that they have something, well, I wouldn't say it's regional to the south. This is kind of everywhere, but something called a cowboy septic. And I had never heard of that until we moved here and was talking to a gent, and then I've talked to a couple other people and said that that could be the case. But essentially they just dig a hole, they put a 1 or 2 55-gallon drums, and then take a hole saw and put holes in the sides of it. So pretty much you don't have a septic tank with a leach field, you just have a 55-gallon drum that when it fills up, it comes out those holes and leaches into the dirt, which is obviously not code, but also for a double wide this size, that's totally should not be the case. But anyway, just a short story there. So this, as always, this video has gotten way too long, but that's just the update for the next couple of days. I just wanted to keep with my promise to keep on posting content to keep you guys up to date. So anyway, so I went around a week and a half ago now and knocked down all this shrubbery. It was all pokeweed and blackberries, except for I was just done, so I had just this little bit left, and it was up probably about 8 feet tall around this backside. So anyway, so that's all done, and yeah, I'll post some more here once I'm done moving some stuff around. All right, as always, thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.